Good evening. Thank you for choosing me to be the auditory backdrop for whatever you have decided to do today. Welcome to Take It With a Grain of Salt, brought to you by Twisted Fork Lifestyle, where we have been twisting your perception of food for over 8 years.
Well, good afternoon. My name is Constance Anderson, and I want to thank Desiree, my daughter, for inviting me to share my fibromyalgia experience with you all. So it's a blessing to be here. My diagnosis for fibromyalgia was in 2008. 2 years after my mother passed, my mother had fibromyalgia. And after I really looked over the situation and thought about it, I had symptoms probably maybe 20 years before that, but they were just mild symptoms. But it kind of took off after that and gave me reason to get a diagnosis. I didn't even think about having it, but the strong fatigue, it was like I was made of lead, and I had to get my baby sister, to come and get me because I was working at a job in Wisconsin, and I couldn't move. And Desiree, being the loving daughter that she is, she took care of me for a few months. But to share a little bit with you about fibromyalgia is a nerve issue, and a lot of times it comes from trauma. The things that happen with a person in trauma as a result, like your nerves are just like worn out. And that's what I was told. And it makes sense because your body is worn out. You might think you're cold, but you're not really cold, it's your nerves. Some of the symptoms are burning, stinging, stabbing, tingling, or sharp pain. And it can be constant, or it can be off and on. It could be various parts of your body, or it could be all over. Think about if your foot has gone to sleep or your hand has gone to sleep. And fibromyalgia is like that, but it's like all over your body, and it's like 100 times worse. And sometimes there's nothing you can do, especially when you have a flare-up, then it could be really, really bad like that. It's different in all people. Mostly women have fibromyalgia, but I've run across a few men that have fibromyalgia also. It's different. It crosses all race barrier lines. Some of the things that really aggravate it are different types of foods. Any type of illness that you have, sugar will aggravate it. It doesn't make a difference if it's honey or white sugar or turbinado sugar or molasses, but white sugar is the worst. It will definitely increase your pain. Chocolate, cheese, caffeine, these are like concentrated foods, and they have other things in them, but if you really are a big consumer of these, even in moderation, if you have fibromyalgia, take a break for a week and see how your body reacts to not having these foods. Also, there are the nightshade foods like tomatoes, potatoes. There are a few more. I can't think of them off the top of my head. The nightshade list. They also aggravate the symptoms of fibromyalgia. And fibromyalgia, it can hit all ages. I found very important that exercise is my life. If you have fibromyalgia, exercise is very, very important because it keeps your circulation going. It helps with the stress. Not over-exercise. You kind of have to feel what your body can handle. One of the best exercises, or I would say the best exercise, is just simple walking, because that moves your whole body. That moves your entire body. And since I'm single, I like to look at videos and walk. There is the Walk a Mile that I watch, or there's other ones that you can just put on YouTube and walk right in your living room, or if you have a gym membership, you can go and walk there and watch your videos, get on the treadmill. It helps with the stress, it helps with the circulation. Some foods that are really good, chlorophyll. I do liquid chlorophyll. I do a couple ounces, a couple times a day. If you're on a blood thinner, though, you cannot take liquid chlorophyll because it thins your blood more. But grains and fruits and nuts and vegetables in the whole state without all the stuff added to it is very good, like potatoes. Potatoes are good, but when you add a lot of salt, butter, and sour cream and all those different things, then it adds to how it's going to affect your body. Different things affect people's bodies different. So it's really important that you listen to your body, and your body will tell you what's good for you and what's not. It'll increase your joint pain, or it'll lessen your joint pain. Greens, like raw salads, and have a variety. You don't really want to be on a dog food diet. A dog food diet is just eating the same thing every day. You don't want the same kind of beans every day. You want a variety. There's all types of beans. There's pinto, there's azuki, there's navy beans, there's black beans, there's kidney beans, cannoli beans, and there's grains. There's different types of grains. Avoid putting all the different stuff on them. Just have them in a natural state. And you can even have greens with your grains. You could have like barley, you could have rice, you could have oats. Corn is a grain. Most people take it as a vegetable, but corn is a grain. And you can have spinach with your dishes. I do cooking demonstrations and help people try and think out the box. There's all types of grains. There's spinach, there's baby spinach, there's kale, there's dinosaur kale. And like I said with the grains, there's ancient grains that are pseudo grains like teff, amaranth, kamut, wheat. You can eat whole grain wheat. You can eat oats. You can eat rye. You can eat rye flakes, barley flakes, or you can eat the whole grain. So there is a variety. And many people think it's hard to eat this way. But once you understand it and you learn it, it's really not hard at all. It's just a new way of thinking. And it saves you a lot of money. I do promote a strict vegetarian diet because it's the best diet. The meat diet has a lot of acid in the muscles of the meat. And so that's going to give you a lot of uric acid, which is going to increase your pain because it's making your digestion hard, whatever type of meat that you eat. But being a health educator, I work with people from all types, those that do eat meat and those that don't eat meat. But I do let them know that the strict vegetarian diet is the best diet. It will give you the most energy. It will relieve the most pain. It is an awesome diet. And you can get chlorophyll. You can make your own liquid chlorophyll just by taking some cilantro or parsley, blending it in some clean water. And if the leaves are tender, you won't even have to strain it. It'll come out smooth. I have a Vitamix. I love my Vitamix. And it's like an industrial blender. But if you have just a regular blender, you just blend it and strain it. And bam, you have your chlorophyll. You don't have to go and spend a lot of money. And it will help in those areas. Another thing that I have found to help is like hot baths or lukewarm baths or showers, because the water is therapeutic to the pain. And it's good to do it before you rest. Anytime you do a type of therapy, you want to rest at least 45 minutes. So if you take a hot and cold shower, 3 minutes hot, 30 seconds cold. And when I do that, I do 5 rounds of it. I do it 5 times, so it's like a total of about 15 minutes. Then I go and lay down for about 45 minutes. But it is so helpful. It gives your body energy, and it helps to get your circulation going, and it helps with the pain, to get that pain out. Because we don't really breathe deep enough. Breathing is very important, breathing deep enough. Here are some herbs that I use that are really, the herbs that I use, they work like within 15, 20 minutes. And I use herbs like lobelia, valerian root, mistletoe. See, mistletoe is not just a Christmas herb, so that's a little joke in there. But mistletoe, wood bethany, skullcap, And about 3 or 4 of them are strictly for the nerves. And it's awesome. I was working on a recipe, and I wanted to leave one of the herbs out, but they're all for the nerves. So you need to understand it's the nerves. When you have that feeling, and sometimes you don't want to wear clothes because it's just painful touching your skin, the clothes touching your skin, or somebody, they can just put their hand on your shoulder, and you might feel that hand on your shoulder 10 minutes after they're gone. You can still feel the impression. That's how fibromyalgia is. The joint pain, the fatigue, the mood swings, the emotions, some other things that I use: magnesium, vitamin D3, B12, and a lot of these you can get in your foods. You can get B12 from vegetables. You can get D3, but when you have a lack of something, then you need, I believe you need a supplement temporarily till you can build that up. And sometimes people can't build that up. So you have to know your body. You need to listen to your body. Like the D3. I was just talking to a friend of mine who was a natural doctor, and my symptoms, I was telling him. And he said, it sounds like your D3 is off. So he said, you should get it checked. So I got it checked. And it was like a 7. And mind you, I didn't know this, but it was supposed to be like 34 or 35. So that was really low. And I couldn't get enough sun to bring that up. So I decided to do a D3 supplement, and it keeps me level and mellow. And again, just for a little review, it does deal with your emotions because you have that pain. Sometimes you have sharp pains just from out of nowhere. And so it's very important that your foods be your medicine, because foods can bring you up and foods can bring you down. And even vegetarian food, I used to be big on vegetarian meats, and they kind of got habit forming. And I found out my body reacted different when I ate them a lot, because then when I stopped, or I just took a fast, when I was doing a fast, then the pains and the different little issues that I was having went away. You have those intermittent pains with fibromyalgia. You have the fatigue where you just can't get up. It's like your body is made of lead. And so sometimes it's hard to tell if you have other different health issues between if it's the fibromyalgia or if you're just tired. But one thing that women don't do as a whole, when your body says you need to rest, you need to listen to your body. Even if it's in the middle of the day. Sometimes I go to bed at 6 p.m. A couple times I went at 5 p.m., which is different for me because I'm a high energy person. I like to do things. I'm a people person. I'm a crafter. I'm a community volunteer working with the community. But it's very important to listen to your body, because if you overextend your energy, there'll be days you won't be able to get up because you've overextended. So it's important to do that. It's important to get your water in. It's important to get clean water in. If all you have is sink water, that's what you drink. When that's all I have, that's what I drink. But if you can get clean water, get the gallons of it, and then you sip on your water through the day, your 8 cups, like they say, in the morning to alkaline, and give my body on a good start. I start with a pint of water and a half of fresh lemon juice in it, because I know what works for my body. And let me see what else I have on my little list. As far as the different pains, you'll notice what foods will set it off. And I'm not telling anybody to starve themselves for the holidays, but be aware when you cheat or when you do certain things, you need to go back and do that. Like if I may have something I want, I'll try and eat more raw greens. Greens, fresh, leafy greens, you can put them in your smoothie. You can just blend them. You can even make your own pesto. You can put it in your hummus. There's many kinds of ways to sneak those greens in with that chlorophyll, because the chlorophyll is like a blood purifier. Now I'm talking to those who are not on heparin or any type of blood thinner. You can put whatever type of greens that you like: kale, baby spinach, regular spinach, dinosaur kale, parsley, cilantro. Cilantro is good for taking the heavy metals out of your body. It's a good purifier, and I use that. You can wash them, cut the stalks off. You can. I had one in with my smoothie this morning. I had cilantro. I had blueberries and strawberries. I had some protein powder, and I had a little bit of apple juice. But because I was starting my morning with a shake. But you need to feed your body healthy. That's very, very important. So like I was saying, you can mix your greens and garbanzo beans, or mix it in your hummus, blend it up, and that will get some greens in you. The chlorophyll in plants, the molecular structure is exactly the same as the molecule of the blood. And what the difference is that in the blood, the nucleus is iron. That's why they always check your iron levels when you go to the hospital or you get sick. And then the nucleus in the chlorophyll is magnesium. Magnesium is good for the electronic impulses in your body. So it helps your body. That's why if you have muscle spasms or things like that, magnesium is very good for that. Now, I do want to let you know that I did not put it in the beginning of this talk. I'm not a doctor. I don't prescribe. These are just things that I do to help me, and they work for me. So I do want to make that clear. I use the greens. Like I said, when I have my oatmeal, instead of using like sugar and different stuff, I may put some fresh spinach in there. Or I may cut up some greens, or sometimes I'll put sage, oregano, basil, different things like that in my oatmeal. Or it's just how it works for you. But you want to learn different things outside the box. And it makes it interesting, and it doesn't make the issues and problems that you have look so overwhelming. Because you would be surprised, the simplest things will help your body. Even just drinking enough water, it will increase your eyesight. It'll help your circulation. It'll help you hear better. It'll help you go to be regular better. And how can your water do all that? Because your body is mostly water, and water is very important to keep the traffic flowing. If the traffic is backed up, everybody backed up. A lot of times you'll see mean and grumpy people. Why are they mean and grumpy? Because they are constipated. And with that, I just want to say thank you again, Desiree, for inviting me, and you all have a blessed day.
And I'm your host, Desiree Flanoy. Thank you so much for joining us on Take It With a Grain of Salt, brought to you by Twisted Fork Lifestyle, where we have been twisting your perception of food for the last 8 years. If you ever want to connect with any of our guests, or leave us a question, a comment, a critique, or even one of your favorite natural remedies, you can reach us at twistedforklifestyle.com. Thank you again, and have an absolutely amazing evening.